Hello everyone, you're now with me, Ruben Gomez, for the Nightline. And these are the headlines.
11 new COVID-19 cases reported on November 1st. New development projects in Telang Usan approved. Super typhoon batters Philippines.
"11 new positive cases of COVID-19 recorded in Sarawak today. 6 were reported in Kuching, 3 in Miri and 2 in Bintulu, bringing the total positive cases in the state to 892.
Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee SDMC in a statement said 3 cases in Kuching were close contact of case 866. The patients of these 3 new cases did not exhibit any symptoms of COVID-19, and further investigations and contact tracing are being actively conducted. They have been classified as locally transmitted cases. Another 2 were related to the Green Hill cluster. Both parents have been admitted to Sarawak General Hospital for further treatments. Another one detected in Kuching did not have history of travelling to places deemed high risk of COVID-19, nor was close contact with any COVID-19 patients. Efforts are underway to trace the source of infection, and the case has been classified as locally transmitted for now. One of the cases detected in Miri is related to the Green Hill cluster. Meanwhile, the other 2 cases in Bintulu are also traced back to Green Hill cluster.
Today marks the 5th day of the Enhanced Movement Control Order (EMCO) throughout Kampong Haji Baki. Various sectors and agencies are converging to the COVID-affected area in handing out necessities to the residents, lending a helping hand at a time of need. This has been a notable practice and culture for fellow Sarawakians during critical moments.
Basic essentials such as food supplies and private protection equipment were received from government agencies, private sectors, and individuals. For Batu Kitang Assemblyman Lokir Chiang, he was moved by the people's concern shown during this tough time.
Ini pertama kali saya rasa macam semua orang dari Kuching. Semua orang dari Kuching lah yang ada hati untuk tolong. I feel very touched. And I would like to say thank you. Berjutaan terima kasih kepada orang semua lapisan masyarakat.
As for Kampong Haji Baki community leader Bujang Marup, he expressed his gratitude and was grateful for the assistance rendered by the Sarawak government, emphasizing on the people's welfare.
Alhamdulillah, terima kasih dengan kerjaan TVS. Terutama sekali atas kerjasama pihak medical, frontliner. Kami Kampung Haji Baki bukan A saja, B dan perumahan mengucapkan jutaan terima kasih. Tengoklah berapa berat dia orang kerja, tak kira panas,
Telangusan residents can now breathe a sigh of relief when they no longer have to live in darkness or ration the use of electricity daily. The dream of 6,000 residents in 13 longhouses in Telangusan of having their house electrified is now a reality, as they now can enjoy the 24-hour electricity supply from the Sarawak government initiative through Sarawak Alternative Rural Electrification Scheme, SARES.
The 13 longhouses are Long Pilah, Long Luting, Long Daluh Bestari, Long Miri, Long Tebangan, Long Liam Keliman, Long Sobeng, Long Selapun, Long Sebatang, Long Sengung, Long Pala, Long Buah and Kong Buken. For the tribal chieftain or Ketua Kampung of Long Pilah, Saging Wan Lah, he no longer has to buy diesel supply to turn on the electric generators.
Dulu kami pakai itu engine set itu kuat mahal, harga minyak pun mahal. Dalam itu saya lah satu bulan kira 300 lebih ringgit bayar minyak. Kadang-kadang ada 400 tuh minyak, spare tuh. Sekarang ya dah bagus, kuat bagus. Terima kasih lah.
For Ulau Avid, her chores as a housewife are much simpler now with SARES.
Di sini kami sudah mendapat kebaikan, banyak kebaikannya itu. Sekarang saya sudah dapat pasang TV, kipas dan masak nasi juga tuh. Semua sudah ada sekarang ini, tidak macam dulu. Kalau macam dulu tuh kami pakai generator sendiri, yaitu genset, banyak banyak susah sebab pakai duit sendiri, itulah. Sekarang ini kami betul-betul berterima kasih kepada kerajaan negeri yang telah tolong kami, membantu kami dalam kampung.
While for Ngau Jawan, this initiative is a pride for the local community, especially in Ulu Baram.
Ya, ini SARES kami sangat bangga lah kerana kami ada 24 jam elektrik ada di kampung kami di Long Pilah. Kami sangat-sangat bangga. Kami memang sangat-sangat berterima kasih lah kepada kerajaan negeri kerana membantu rakyat kampung kami di Ulu Baram, khususnya di Long Pilah.
Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg said the 24 hours electrical supply in Telangusan is now reaching 71%, adding that full percentage of the supply will be achieved before 2022.
Telangusan dah 70% lebih. 71%, tinggal 29%. Sal TVS selamat Datuk 100% di Telangusan. Kita akan tambah tu di Telangusan kerana niat kita 2022 mungkin lebih awal. 100% semua ada elektrik 24 jam.
He said this during the launching of SARES project at Long Pilah, Ulu Baram Miri on Saturday. Abang Johari also hopes the 24 hours electricity supply will help improve the residents' way of life.
Kalau terang, baca buku pun senang, ilmu pun bertambah, bapak pun bertambah, demonya pun macam juga. Kalau pergi karaoke, saya tadi nggak ada karaoke tadi. Apa namanya nak? Tanda ke dah? Wah, tanda. Wah, pocok-pocok. Nak berlepaskan geram. Kalau elektrik ada mudah dia dapat. Dia juga mau minum air sejuk, ada peti ais. Jadi itu mengubahkan cara hidup kita. Jadi kita yang ada tu kita kerjakan.
Meanwhile, the Chief Minister also approved an allocations of 16 million ringgit to implement 2 new development projects in Telangusan as part of the state government's master plan. The first involved a recreation centre worth 15 million ringgit that will be built at the Rural Growth Centre, Baram. The second involved the Pulung Masik Tagang System project worth 1 million ringgit in Sungai Belingan.
Sport kompleks saya telah meluluskan akan dibina untuk kawasan daerah Telangusan. Untuk daerah Telangusan. Dan YB dengan pihak Kementerian Belia dan Sukan akan mengenal pasti tempatnya lah. Untuk daerah Telangusan yang berharga mengikut YB 15 juta. Kita akan bangunkan. Yang satu lagi ialah apa yang dipohonkan di dalam surat tadi dari sudut master plan Kampung Long Pilah 3 juta. Yang dua itu kita luluskan. Akan dibangunkan selepas ini.
Previously, Telang Usan Assemblyman Dennis Ngau said in his constituency, a recreation centre is crucial to meet the needs of organising youth activities and other people's engagement programs.
Kami nak memohon sekiranya Yang Berhormat dapat meluluskan pembinaan sebuah sport kompleks di RGC Long Lama ataupun Pekan Long Lama. Ya. Saya telah membawa permohonan ini kepada pengetahuan Yang Berhormat Datuk Karim Rahman Hamzah, Menteri Sukan kita. Dia terus menerima setuju sebenarnya permohonan ini dan mahu meletak dia dalam rancangan Malaysia ke-12, tapi bagi saya itu agak lambat. Jadi di sini saya nak merayu mewakili semua penduduk di Telangusan, Yang Berhormat Menteri, berilah hadiah ini kepada kami hari inilah pembinaan sebuah sport kompleks di Pekan Long Lama. Bukan untuk orang Long Lama saja, tetapi untuk sekolah, untuk gereja, untuk belia, seluruh Telangusan mengadakan aktiviti sukan komuniti dan sebagainya.
And now we're back. The strict implementations of standard operating procedures is evidently not enough to deter folks from donating blood to help those in need. The proof, the blood donation campaign organised on Saturday by the Hero organisations in cooperation with a shopping complex in Kuching has successfully collected 66 blood bags, far over its initial target.
When donating blood, a donor would need to undergo a temperature check, wear a face mask, and keep physical distancing before their blood can be tested for suitability. The stringent process is not enough to deter donors from lining up, just to ensure the country's donated blood supply remains adequate. According to the organizer's spokesman, Stephen Teo, his group felt touched by the rabid response they received.
Yeah, today we are very happy that the blood bank coordinated with us, and then we more than exceed our target of 50 bags of blood lah. Really thankful lah, and we are thankful to the team, to everyone. Most important of all, to the donors lah, to the donors of the blood that really generously they come out in numbers to support us. Many of them are very young people. They are donating blood for the first time lah. We thank every.
The Ministry of Works expressed hope that all of the main construction projects in the country will continue to be highlighted in Budget 2021 due to be tabled next Friday. Its Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof said the continuations of these projects are important as they are the core of economic recovery and GDP growth in 2021.
In a statement to the media on Saturday, Fadilah explained that one of the main projects include the Pan-Borneo Highway project. Besides, he also hoped that high-priority projects like the 5 kilometers missing link road that connects Kuala Baram in Miri to the border with Brunei Darussalam at Sungai Tujuh CIQ would be considered too. The Ministry of Works, according to him, has requested at least 20 new projects across the country, whether they be upgrading of roads to 4 lanes or building new roads to upgrade the existing main road networks. He also hoped a significant budget can be allocated to the Construction Industry Development Board, CIDB, to bolster the use of technology in the construction industry. This can be adapted through Industrial Revolution 4.0 technologies such as separate robotics, automation, big data, Internet of Things, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence.
An economist called on the government to expand the initiatives under the National Economic Recovery Plan Penjana to further ease the financial burden of the people affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Professor Emeritus Dr. Barjoya Bardai of University Tun Abdul Razak, Uni Razak, said the government can also introduce food stamp system, which is a system of issuing food coupons to ensure that aid reached the less fortunate. He also proposed that banks or financial institutions extend the loan moratorium period. Therefore, he said those measures were more suitable than withdrawing money from the Employees Provident Fund EPF account 1, which is a savings scheme for old age. However, Barjoya said the government could implement the method in the form of loans, where the contributors would have to repay higher contribution amounts in the future.
The Communications and Multimedia Ministry plans to expand and diversify the communications mediums for COVID-19. This includes the languages used in distributing data, suggestions and messages to ensure the disseminations of information are received and understood by all levels of the community.
Its Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah said this is to enable foreigners, especially those working in Malaysia, to have a better understanding and adhere to the information distributed by the government. Besides, Saifuddin said the government has also learned not to create panic among the people by agreeing to announce measures such as the Conditional Movement Control Order in some areas 2 days prior to the enforcement. He added that this is to give the people ample time to buy necessities. Saifuddin said the government would also change its strategies according to the COVID-19 situation in the country. He said on October 12, the red zones in Selangor only comprise Klang and Petaling, while Hulu Langat and Gombak, as well as Titi Wangsa and Kepong in Kuala Lumpur, were still yellow.
我是退休的读中老师，名字是 Jamali bin Satung。到现在呢，就是在家，因为这个 COVID 的话，不是学校就是关掉，没有工作做。
In school, he started learning calligraphy only because it was a necessity to make it easier for him to learn the Mandarin language. But after doing it for a while, it became a hobby that not only allowed Jamali Satong to master the art of Chinese calligraphy, but also unveil the meaning behind its characters.
Tentang kita belajar, ni ada masalah. Apa yang baik, apa yang ada makna, ya penting. Yang pentingnya ialah kebaikan. Menerusi kaligrafi, kita boleh menulis sajak, puisi dan sebagainya menjadi pedoman, pandangan, nasihat kepada generasi yang akan datang. Memang saya berharap anak Melayu, Bumi Putra belajar apa yang lain dari kepunyaan kita sendiri. Bermakna kita menambahkan pengetahuan, pengabdian dan keseniannya sekali.
75-year-old Jamali is the first Sarakian Malay who graduated from Nanyang University, Singapore in 1969, before going on to teach at Chonghua Middle School No. 3. When met at his residence at Kampong Tabuan Dusun, Kuching, Jamali spoke of his colorful experiences serving as a teacher for over 3 decades, 34 years to be exact, during which he taught at a few schools in Sarawak, besides Kota Kinabalu and Perak. Although he is now enjoying retirement as an educator, he is not done teaching yet, tutoring for Bahasa Melayu and geography subjects at a tuition center. Despite the temporary pause following the COVID-19 pandemic on the education sector, Jamali utilized his ample time on calligraphy. Even though he is of a Malay descendant, doesn't deprive him from learning the art of other communities, because to him, every individual who learns can only benefit and gain and enrich themselves from the knowledge acquired.
Mesti ada masalah, cuma nyampur tulisannya aja. Tulisannya mempunyai makna yang tersendiri. perkataan yang kita pakai, bait-bait saja yang kita tulis, menaruh perasaan, anggapan, pandangan, malah masa depan yang kita harap. Itu yang penting. Sebab itu generasi muda memang patut tidak kira apa bangsa, sekurang-kurangnya kaligrafi sendiri, sajak dan sebagainya mesti diketahui, difahami. Kemudian baru kita sebarkan luas, menjadi seluruh dunia tahu.
As for his hopes and aspirations, he wants the younger generation to be more courageous and eager to learn, even if they come from different backgrounds and cultures.
Sebab bila kita menggunakan bahasa Mandarin, no Chinese tu orang di Tiongkok, di Taiwan semua tahu. Macam bila kita menggunakan bahasa Melayu di Nusantara, di bandar-bandar yang besar, mereka faham. Yang penting ialah kita menyebarkan kebaikan. Yang penting, nilai-nilai yang murni, kebaikan dan sebagainya. Kaligrafi melambangkan perkataan-perkataan yang baik. Bahasa yang kita guna juga merupakan yang universal, dapat diterima oleh semua bangsa.
Hong Kong police arrested 7 people over scuffles that broke out with security guards during a face-off between pro-democracy and pro-Beijing lawmakers in the city's legislature earlier this year. Those arrested include current and former lawmakers and a legislative aide, where all 7 are from the pro-democracy camp.
A police statement said that 6 men and 1 woman had been detained on suspicion of contempt and interfering with legislative personnel. It wasn't clear if that referred to other lawmakers or the security staff. The statement said the arrests are part of an investigation into a May 8th committee meeting in which pro-democracy lawmakers rushed towards the chairperson's seat and a phalanx of security guards shoved back. The guards carried out several pro-democracy lawmakers, including Eddie Chu and Ray Chan, after they had been ordered to leave for disorderly conduct. Both stepped down on September 30th. 3 of its legislative members had been arrested, including party chairman Wu Chi-wai. Security guards marched Wu out of the chamber as he tried to wave a cardboard sign at the committee chair and others on the podium. The May 8th incident was the first in a series of scuffles over a bill approved in June that made it illegal to insult the Chinese national anthem.
A super typhoon slammed into the eastern Philippines with ferocious winds, knocking down power in several towns and prompting the evacuations of about 1 million people in its likely path, including in the capital where the main airport was shut down.
Typhoon Goni hit the island province of Catanduanes at dawn with sustained winds of 225 km per hour, equivalent to a Category 5 hurricane. It was blowing west toward densely populated regions including Manila and rain-soaked provinces still recovering from a typhoon that hit a week ago and left at least 22 dead. There were initial reports of death, including a man who was reportedly pinned by a fallen tree in Albay province, but authorities said they were still verifying the details. Residents have been warned of likely landslides, massive flooding, storm surges of up to 5 meters, and powerful winds that can blow away shanties.
Well, that's all from me for TVS Nightline. We inspire your world only on channel Astro 122. Ruben Gomez, anytime, anywhere. Thank you.